Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Caroline Carter, with us.
Thank you.
Caroline,
Pleasure.
yes, the pleasure is mine, believe me. We're on for some excitement here. So, Caroline, let's introduce ourselves quickly and mainly how we met.
Absolutely.
So,
So, we
yes.
are a network of female professors who have had extensive global business careers all over the world, which is how I met you. I have also taught extensively for the last several years. I was a lecturer at EDIC. I think I taught just about every marketing class in every program for a few years.
Yes.
I have transitioned now to Schema.
Mm-hmm.
I only teach at the Masters of International Marketing and Business Development program, which I love. Students are a little bit more mature, have worked. It's a very global program too, which is a lot of fun for me, students from all over the world. And to finish up, I've worked in marketing for almost 30 years with massive global corporations. I was a brand manager at Kraft Food early in my career. After I got my MBA, I transferred to beauty. I worked at Coty, which we're going to talk about
Yes.
today. You'll introduce the topic, I'm sure. For about 8 or 9 years, and now I have my own consulting firm. I'm the founder at Cirque Marketing here in France,
How do you spell Cirque?
the French way.
Oh, yeah.
Cercle. Thank you. Marketing.com. Thank you. And there I work still with some big players, but I also love working with smaller brands and startups. It's
Mm,
a lot of fun for me
yes.
to take my previous corporate experience and help the little guys.
Yes.
So that's what
Brilliant.
I'm doing. And I'm kind of splitting my time between consulting and marketing as a professor.
Yes, perfect. So yes, we met as professors. We are both professors. You were at edX. I'm still currently at edX. I teach as well at ESEG, and we're thanking the ESEG
Thank
School
you.
of Management for hosting us today. And I'm working at ESEG. Yes, currently. I still have my company in Southeast Asia, in Malaysia, in FMCG, but I worked, and we were going to talk about it. I worked in the licensing work in China for
Mhm.
almost a decade.
Yes,
So
a
there's
lot
a
in
lot to
common,
talk
except
about.
for me, the more the American and European experience,
Yes.
and for you, Asia.
Asian experience, but we lived in New York at the same time. So the
Yes.
stories which I can't tell, I can't wait to hear. The stories were happening when we were both in Manhattan, so it's going to be exciting.
Yes.
And you're going to explain to us the world of licensing, mainly in fragrance, which is a very specific sector. So licenses in fragrance, and for obviously the largest fragrance maker in the world, Coty.
Yes, at the time when I was there for
Yes.
about 8 years, and also beauty,
And
I
beauty,
think.
absolutely. So fragrance and beauty, yes. So beauty would include skincare and cosmetics.
Yes, exactly, even body care,
And yeah,
all of it.
do you include shampoo or is it
Yes, hair care is
hair
also
care?
beauty, yes.
True.
But
Per-
my expertise was, fragrances and cosmetics, which
Yes.
is what we're gonna kind of focus on
Yes.
today.
Yes, that's what we want to focus on. We want to hear, and mainly it's a subject. I mean, guilty pleasure related to celebrity. That adds a little bit of a, added layer here.
Many celebrities.
Yes.
So and most people think, "Oh, that must have been so glamorous." I will explain throughout this conversation, sometimes great, sometimes more challenging, all depends. And at the end of the day, it's another brand, it's another product, and
True.
all the marketing principles apply.
Yes. It's management.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, very good. So here, I think for our viewers, what we want to talk about first, a little bit of, we're still professor, academic, what is licensing? How does licensing
Okay.
work?
So licensing is more prevalent than I think any consumer knows or students. I do teach my students about this, but I think the average consumer has no idea. Okay. So there are so many products that a celebrity, let's just stick with that model for now, or even fashion houses don't have their core expertise in. And so they hire the biggest manufacturer or company in the world to manage that for them. And what that means in terms of management, Coty, for instance, takes charge of all the manufacturing, all the cost of goods, the development of all the packaging, the raw materials, whether it's a cosmetic or a fragrance, we call that the juice or the eau de toilette. Working with the celebrity in a more limited framework than you may realize. But the manufacturer or the licensor takes on all of these costs,
Mhm.
as well as advertising, media planning, rolling out across different countries, retail trade, go to market strategy. So they take up 100% of the costs, except for the celebrity's time.
Right. So we can't, let's say if I'm a celebrity, obviously you can't do everything. You can't, and if you want to do merchandising, you can't manufacture yourself. So here you go to the best of the best. And let's say
Mhm.
I want to do fragrance. I go to the best of the best, which is Coty. And Coty, no, we say, let's say we get into a relationship. I'm going to trust you. We're going to have a contract.
Mhm.
You're going to say, I'm going to take care of everything
Mhm.
because that's
Cost
what
wise.
cost wise, because that's what you do. Here, I'm going to be blunt a bit. You obviously have say, you can say yes or no along the way, but then you just put your name on it. So it's
So
a,
the
that,
way it really works is you set up an individual contract with each licensee. So that could be the celebrity, the fashion house, whoever it is. And they say, okay, we want to develop these products. You have 100% rights. So no one else can, produce those types of products except for you once you sign the contract.
Mhm.
You take on all the costs, as explained before, but then the celebrity or fashion house will have their rights to approval.
Right.
Okay, so but it's much less than most people realize in terms of their time. Would you like me to explain
Yes,
that?
yes, I do. And I want you to tell me there must be a number like, let's say you're offering a certain amount of bottles. You can't offer like hundreds, there must be like, okay, in a contract, you can have 10 go and then you have to make you have to choose.
So it depends on the category.
Right.
So in fragrances, you start with one. Why? Because developing a fragrance is very expensive.
Mm,
You have to tool a glass bottle or flacon is very expensive to develop.
right.
First, you pay for the design of it, which can be up to 100,000 euros. And then for manufacturing, you have to develop what's called a mold
Yes.
that will fly on high speed lines, hopefully. So your cost of goods are as
Right.
low as possible.
And those are extremely expensive.
Yeah, people don't realize that. But the license the celebrity or fragrance brand, have 100% rights to approve the product formulation, whether it's a fragrance or something else. Usually they get 2 or 3 meetings a year, maybe three if they're not happy.
Mm, okay.
To after we internally have worked hard on what we think the optimal formulations are,
Right.
and we develop also the original concept. Like, this is how we see this launch going, the name, what it's, linking into with your career.
Mm,
Is it an album? Is it an upcoming show? Is it, something you're doing fashion wise? We align on that. We align, also on the packaging is said. And then in the contract, there is a very specified number of days that the fragrance will be promoted or advertised with a celebrity. So usually an advertising shoot, in my experience, takes about 2 days to do, full print, TV, all the social things
mm,
too, the short formats for digital. And we work with the very best, photographers, some big names that it's kind of a dream to work with, videographers, talent, cosmetics, etc., makeup artists, fashion, like all the best. And sometimes the celebrity will say, I only want to work with my people.
mm.
And so you build that into the contract.
Right.
And then you also demand that they promote the fragrance once it's ready. And usually that's through a PR event
Mhm.
where you invite all the major press, all the editors, and you try and get it all done in one day with a big party that all again costs several hundreds of thousands to
Yes.
do. But you get your bang for your buck
Right.
like that from a press standpoint. And then hopefully the celebrity will be so enthused. They will offer you so many posts on their social media, or interviews with other, opportunities as it arises. But this, like, you have a ballpark built into the contract for
Mm.
all of it. And at the end of the day, I would say the celebrity only spends no more than like a week of full time work to
Yes.
do all that in 1 year.
Yes.
Then that's an annual thing. So once you launch a new fragrance or a flanker, then you have a new,
Okay. But let's say you don't have a new fragrance because you can't have a new fragrance, although you might have a new fragrance every year. You can have the same fragrance, and this week of work is valid maybe for like 2 years.
usually you sign the contract for at least 5. I've seen
Okay.
some going up to 10
That's a very good. I mean, it
because
depends on what you want to do, but that sounds like a very good deal for the celebrity.
right, because it's a huge investment
Yes.
and you don't, you want to get as many efficiencies as you
Yes.
possibly can.
Of course. And it's a win-win relationship, obviously. If
Yes,
everything goes
it
well,
should
yeah,
be.
it should be a win-win relationship. Yes.
Would you like to know how the celebrity is paid?
Yes, I do. I think everyone wants to know.
So it's a
For that 1
royalty.
week of work, all about.
Yeah, it's a 1 week of work plus or minus, depending. And the celebrity is paid a royalty percentage of sales,
Mhm.
okay, for everything you sell.
Okay.
And this can be anywhere I've seen, depends on the celebrity, how big are they at the time, or more niche. Anywhere from 5 to 9% of sales goes directly into their pocket.
Total sales.
Yeah. And because there are no costs on their side,
Yeah.
it's 100% profit.
Yes. Except for those few days of work.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So it's not even made out of the sales from the profit, the margin. No, it's the sales from the total sales. That's
Yeah.
very good.
And this is why
Of course, they want
celebrity
more.
fragrances started. I would say they started in the early 2000s, and Coty was one of the original companies doing that with
Remember those? Yeah.
Celine Dion, Jennifer Lopez.
Paris Hilton, the Britney.
Yes, those weren't ours.
No,
Those
I
were,
know.
I think, Elizabeth Arden.
Probably. Yes.
But that's why the model exploded because celebrities were like, "Ooh, a lot of money, not a lot of time,
Sell
and it
Black
boosts
Panther.
my brand, and it gives me more legitimacy in fashion and beauty." And maybe they're wanting to expand into more categories after that.
Yes, I guess. Do you start by fragrance? I mean, not that there is an order, but like, let's say if there was an order, do you start by fragrance and then you're like going for makeup maybe or clothes? Like the Jessica Simpsons of the time.
Yeah, fragrance is really the entry point into a lot of luxury products.
Just to see if you have a better
Even for
offer.
really big, like, fashion brands, you can't afford the Louis Vuitton bag,
Right.
but you can maybe afford a lipstick or fragrance. And so these are usually why most of those products, especially with celebrities, start in a very, specific category, and fragrance is one of them, for sure.
Yeah, I do agree. This is to me, and everyone, almost everyone can afford it, and it allows us to have luxury in our bathroom, access to have this whole experience. That's bringing me to another conversation I want to have, but I think we will do another podcast on it.
Okay.
That is the fact that Kering sold all their cosmetics and fragrance sector.
Mhm.
I have an opinion on it. I want to hear your opinion, but that could be an whole sector on its own. But let's go back to Coty
Okay.
in the okay, so you were working at Coty from which year to which year? Because the celebrities are going to be
Yes. So I started a long time ago, over 20 years ago in
yes.
2005. At the time, it was a private company. And so we had a lot more room to maneuver. Creativity was allowed. We went public, I believe, in 2012. I left around 2014. One of the reasons was that it became much more financial exercise and less creative.
Right.
But we worked with almost every celebrity who had a fragrance. My personal experience, besides Jennifer Lopez, Celine Dion, was David and Victoria Beckham. And David started even before I arrived, like in 2001. He's a really rare case because his fragrance portfolio is still here, is still successful. So I worked with him and later his wife, Victoria.
She had as well her own fragrance. I didn't know.
She did.
Oh,
And they did duos together, which was a big hit. I also worked with Shania Twain, American country singer who was just the sweetest lady and still is. Also has a very long, successful career. So happy to see her doing well again.
yes. I
She
guess
took a little hiatus,
yes,
for personal reasons, but she's back in a big way.
she is. Uh, this is one of the risks, as I guess, it's part of the business model. Here, when you work with a celebrity, you work with a human who has its own flaws, of course,
Yes.
as any human we do. So here, you're taking a risk. Mainly, usually they're young.
Mhm.
Even Beckham at the time, David Beckham at the time was probably in his late 20s, early 30s.
He started near the end of his football career, right?
Yes.
Because he was looking for next.
This man is beautiful businessman because he has one of the longest career I know for I mean any first athletes and then having such a big career and still very mediatic. You can have an empire behind and you just pull the strings behind the curtain. But he is very hands-on. He
Mhm.
travel is a lot in Hong Kong. I remember in Hong Kong he used to come a lot to promote I can't even tell you what he was promoting for I was so many products.
Yes, he started in fragrance, so
Yes.
that solidifies my earlier comment. Most celebrities will start there and see how it goes. If it goes well, he went into aftershave. He went into athletic gear, underwear, sunnies, all the other products, and he is now even more in fashion since his wife Victoria became a fashionista and a designer.
Yes. We want more David Beckham, kind of like those kind of celebrities where we're like, we're on for 30, 40, 50
We
years
all love
maybe.
him, and I can tell you from meeting him and working with him, he was one of my favorites because always authentic to his brand,
Yes.
never asking for something that made no sense
Hmm.
from a branding perspective. Also, 100% abiding by the guidelines from the contract, like
Hmm.
what we've both agreed to. Never had to over convince him to approve anything. He would say, "You guys are the experts. This is your number one recommendation. I trust you. Let's go."
Good dream. Good. Yeah, he has this image of like very obviously he's extremely disciplined. He's a big athlete, but yes, he seems to be surrounding himself with a very good team. I mean, he
Yes.
has one of the longest careers, so it must be
He's
quite
had a few different agents along the way, and of course, that I haven't spoken about this, but agents are always involved as well.
right.
So if you're having a meeting with a celebrity, the agent is there, and
Yes.
they're the ones who really are keeping track of the contract and
Mm.
know all the ins and outs. The celebrity is just like, "What do I need to do?"
Okay. You can't be everything. You can't be an accountant. You can't be a
No.
lawyer. You can't be yes.
That's why they
Uh,
pay their
it's-
agents.
yes, exactly. So the agent is doing what? Accounting, lawyer, and brand creativity. Yes.
Promotions, like, maybe we'll do this deal next. We can do another deal in this
Mm.
category, et cetera, et cetera. And then managing the deals for
Right.
them.
Okay. So here, yes, he knows how to surround, how to who to hire, the best of the best. I'm guessing.
They're a good team.
Yes, and it was really wonderful to work with him. He's very
Wonderful. One of
efficient.
my favorites. And
Yeah,
several other of my Coty colleagues, I think, would agree with that, who also works with him.
I guess the formula is
And he's
working.
still there.
Yes, exactly. We're in 2026 and
Still there, still
still
successful.
very strong. I don't know how much money they make between the whole family, the empire, but it's tremendous.
Well, I can tell you the fragrance portfolio itself is hundreds and hundreds of millions. And if you just do the math on his royalties,
Yes.
he's done very well.
It's done very, very well. Good for them. I mean, it is a very disciplined and yes, he must have a fantastic team behind him.
And he understands his brand,
Yes.
and he also, I think a really key thing to be successful with a licensor as a licensee is to really work together, and be a good team
Yes.
and trust each other.
Yeah.
And that's not always the case.
And you said a key word, which is authenticity,
Mhm.
which I'm sick and tired of hearing, but at the same time, it's correct.
It's
Maybe
true.
even more so in this example.
Yes, and even more and more so today, I
Yeah.
believe, but that's a topic for another
True, true, true.
discussion.
But here, because of Beckham, David Beckham, and its longevity, we can say he has this longevity because he always came out as his authentic self.
Yeah, and at the same time, he's exploring new opportunities, but they make sense as
Yes.
extensions. It's not like he ever came and said, "I want to do, something like a self-tanning product,
Yes.
or something that makes no sense for his brand."
True, 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 true. He just sold me another Ninja hair fryer. So
Okay. All right.
yes, no, because it looks authentic and he seems to know how to use them.
Yes.
So yes, so you have celebrities that are extremely they are very good at managing businesses, surrounding themselves with a proper team who knows the celebrity extremely well, knows what is the brand and which direction we're going. You have some celebrities that it's not more chaotic, it's not the word, but where there might be some back and forth, we might be losing time or money. Can you share? We want to know, we are human at the end of the day, some example of celebrities where it didn't go so well.
Sure. Well, I think this is the classic Coty example,
Mm,
and it was a brand that I worked on personally, but it was happening at the same time that I was working in Paris. A new celebrity that we signed was Lady Gaga.
mm-hmm.
Okay, and it was after her first big, huge, album fame.
Yes.
Okay, but it was a little bit late. It was a couple years after that, and I think that maybe that was one of the problems. But this became a case study in not working out well, for quite a few reasons. The celebrity herself was very, very opinionated about what she wanted and didn't instill a lot of trust, I think, in Coty as the licensor.
I
And
see.
so she was, I think she's just used to being a boss. And the problem was there was a contract set up. So once the fragrance is approved, it's approved. We're spending money on it now.
Yes.
Same as I explained for packaging and flacon. After all of that was done, she came back and said, "No, I want to change everything." But after many hundreds of thousands of euros have been invested and it goes against the terms of the contract, of course, Coty is not going to do that. And so it became quite difficult. There wasn't a good partnership or teamwork between the two sides. It ended up with litigation, I believe, on both sides, although I'm not privy to the details. And so it was eventually terminated. But that is a good example. When it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And
Mm.
you would have thought this is the biggest celebrity in the world at the time.
Plus, she seemed, I'm sure she is, but here it didn't gel.
Did not.
No, it didn't. It has to gel. There's a bit of chemistry as well. You can have the best contract. You do need chemistry. Mainly, there's an artistic part to it, and you're working with an artist. And Lady Gaga is definitely an
Yes.
artist.
But she has to have confidence and
Yes.
trust with her team, and it was clearly not the case
Ah,
at Coty.
that's the thing.
So it was clearly an issue, and it became like I just remember marketing people crying in the corridor and like, she's changing it again.
Well,
What are we gonna
yeah,
do? And it also affects your not only money, but your timeline. And you've made promises to
of
retailers and
course.
the sales force, and now you're
The launch.
behind, and
Yeah, I don't know when was the
everything's
launch,
in
but
jeopardy. So that only went for one cycle, and
yeah.
then parties amicably sort of
Mm.
parted ways.
Okay. You probably lost a bit of, a big chunk of money though. It happens. Some losses, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. I guess
Yeah.
it's part of the risk. Mainly working again with artists, celebrities, mainly such celebrities who I'm guessing are extremely specific in their artistic
Art.
choices. Yes.
Right, and also reinventing,
Yes.
maybe? So I think, like, Lady
Yes.
Gaga was constantly reinventing herself, Madonna, same
Oh
thing.
my God. Yes.
So
Very
you
similar.
can it's really like you're in fragrance, you're planning a year and a half out.
Mm.
So by the time everything is produced, you're ready to launch, if that's not their persona anymore,
Yes.
you've got a big problem.
Oh, persona. It's a big word in artistic world and in marketing
And
as well.
marketing professor guilty.
Yes, yes, very good. So here, fantastic partnerships on one end. Sometimes it doesn't work so much. Vice as well. Again, it's art at the end of the day.
Yes.
Marketing as well. So here, it has to gel.
It
It,
has to be a
we have
good
to be sync.
partnership.
Yeah, it takes two to tango. If you can't, if the other one doesn't tango, that's not
Yes.
gonna go anywhere.
And I believe Lady Gaga after set up her own beauty company, House of,
True. House of House, no House of Lamb, no
Lab
Lab.
Lab something.
Okay,
Sorry,
yes,
don't quote me, but she
yes,
did set up her own beauty
true.
company so she could have 100% control
Which
after
is
that.
good. I think
But
she's gonna
she
do probably very well, and she probably knows a lot about makeup too.
just well, yes, absolutely, and she knows what she likes.
Yeah, she knows what she likes. I just saw her in the latest Mattia Fecal design. It's totally on brand, let's just say.
Yes.
Yes. Perfect. Thank you. So here, oh yes, regarding the Kylie, let's go to something, a subject a bit more contemporary here.
Oh, okay.
The Kylie, everybody talked about. It was all over the media. The Kylie Jenner deal.
Kylie
Kylie
Cosmetics,
Cosmetic.
which was also acquired by Coty.
Yes. So you acquired the brand
Mhm.
for
1 billion
1 billion. 1.2
or
or
1.2.
1.2 billion. Now, when you do a brand acquisition, because of course it's part of the business model, you acquire a brand, you grow your portfolio, shareholders are happy. And oh yes, Emily. Now you acquired that specific brand. Yes, you were targeting which segmentation?
Of course, Gen Z.
Okay, you were targeting the Gen Z. You acquired it for 1.2. Do what was the ROI? Do you know on that one? Was like, are we gonna make a because 1.2 you need to sell a lot of lipstick and lip
Yes.
liner.
And so this was a little bit differently than a licensing
Yes.
deal. So she still maintained a stake in the company. I have no idea how much. She still had rights of approval on certain things,
Mm.
like similar to licensing, like advertising shots. And she committed to do a certain amount of promotion, PR pushes, Instagram pushes, digital marketing, and all of that. At the time of the acquisition, I believe she only had lip products, which is how she started.
Mm.
She started on Instagram. She had, at the time, I want to say 400 million followers, which was a really big selling point for
It is.
Coty. But she was primarily one category. Okay. And in terms of how much she was making on that category, I can't tell you. It was private and not disclosed. But I imagine Cody was thinking, it's one category. Now, what if we blow this out?
Yes.
What if we blow it into eye? It was lip products at the time, which is very much her brand
That's
positioning.
the thing. This is our thing. That's just
Face,
a list. So
other
yeah.
color, other cosmetics,
Yeah.
skincare, body care. Some of this she's launched by now. Fragrances. So Cody was thinking, we'll just blow this all out and it's gonna be an amazing launch and portfolio for us. But I think what's happened has been disappointing for them.
The thing is, she's known for the lips to me. Then she's obviously a beautiful woman. What the good thing about Kylie is she has a Kardashian as well. The
Mhm.
sisters can promote as well. I'm not sure if it's part of the deal, where the sisters might promote as well of their platform, saying, I'm wearing Kylie's lipstick. No, not
No,
even that.
no, I think they were on the Kardashian show once or
Because
twice,
okay,
but they're
so
all
that's
they're
not
all working on their own things, right?
yes.
Like Kim is working on the underwear, the Skims,
The
the
thing.
undies.
This one is another subject. I can talk about it
Mhm.
for a long time. You
Next
too.
time.
Yes,
Mm.
because I remember the Spanx and how they never managed to do. And she's like, I'm gonna grab that market.
Yes,
And now it's
and she made it
everywhere,
her own, and it's very successful,
and
billion
it's
dollar brand.
beautiful. I mean, it's a beautiful brand. There is to me no flaw in that. I mean, I see there are flaws, but it's extremely well done. Kylie, on the other hand, yes, here we can see the celebrity behind was known for the lips, so it's hard for her to sell as well as a body care, because then it's could be any body care. The
Right,
lips are the thing,
right.
and the 1.4 billion, 1.2 billion US dollar acquisition, I would have loved to see. I want to see the ROI. I'm not even sure if the ROI has been reached yet.
I don't think you'll ever find that from a private deal, but I can tell you Coty shareholders have sued, Coty because they believe it was overpriced
Mm,
and it's not delivering the revenue or the ROA that was anticipated or promised.
yes, I can imagine that.
And I think it's more than just, the amount of categories that were going out. I think when you're dealing with a celebrity, you are 100% dependent on that celebrity in terms of what's going on with their life. Is there any negative PR? Their support and partnership. And, I think she's another strong businesswoman who wants to be in charge of her brand. And so maybe a licensing deal where she doesn't have 100% control wasn't her expectation, would be my.
Maybe she seems to be pretty full on. She promotes it because see, she obviously had a family life as well, but she's still pushing her product.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about another celebrity who launched a product. It was really big. I mean, when she launched her product, she had a really good sales, and the acquisition was all over the media as well. And then her family life took over, which is nothing wrong with that. But now, because the family life took over and she's not promoting it, well, I believe Kylie is still promoting it. And you know who I'm referring to? Rihanna. Fenty.
Oh, yes, yes. That's an amazing example.
Yes.
So that was such a hot brand when it
Yes.
launched a few years ago. It was one of the first brands. She went into all cosmetics and did an exclusive at Sephora.
Mm.
But she offered the full range of shades for women of all ethnicities, which had really never been done before.
Well, Iman did it a long time ago. Iman was the first one to do it back in the
You're right.
80s, 90s.
But
Yeah.
this is the
But
most
yes,
recent
this is the
one,
most recent one.
and
Yes.
she sold out in
Yes.
Sephora, and then she was also at the top of her game in terms of singing
Yes.
professionally, and then she started her lingerie business,
Yes.
which lingerie and cosmetics are very,
Complementary.
coordinated and
Yes.
complementary, yes. And so that went great for many years, but you're right, she has, made her family life more of a priority, which is completely understandable. So, the business probably isn't doing as well as it was
No. Yeah.
initially.
Yes. So this is the thing. It's actually very tricky. See, you said for licensing, you have a 5-year contract.
Mhm.
But
It depends.
it depends, but let's say on average. And you can play with that.
Mhm.
But for brands like, let's say you do acquisition, like the Kylie or the Fenty, Kylie Cosmetic or Fenty, you have the acquisition, but it's still strongly linked to the celebrity. But the celebrity is a human.
Yes.
And then you
Sometimes
can't
humans make mistakes.
mistakes or family takes, I mean, things happen, and here no one, you can't have a number two to say, hey, take the reign. You're still the face of the company, and
Where
you
there
have to
could be a
promote the
PR
product. Yes, or
disaster.
PR disaster. So here it's a fantastic business, but it's a very risky business.
It is, and the product life cycle for
Yes,
celebrity fragrances in particular is quite short. So
true.
that's why it's really rare, like Jennifer Lopez, Celine Dion, David Beckham, Shania Twain, very long.
Yes.
But it's because their careers were
Oh,
so
no,
successful
yes,
for a very long time. And then you have others that are quite short.
true. I think we're gonna wrap up on this. So licensing comes with its obviously pros and cons as any business. And here it's all about partnership. It's like a marriage, as
It
anything
is.
in life. It is always.
It's a
We
true
always come back.
partnership.
It's a true partnership. We try to be here for the long run. It's very rare when we have someone who have such a celebrity with such decades of, you know, decades of sorry, I'm missing the word of career.
Mhm.
And here we're in a business then for fantastic. We're in a business for decades. That's amazing. But that's very rare. And then you have example where we have this partnership, not necessarily licensing, but like the Kylie Cosmetics or the Fenty Beauty, where here, if the celebrity does not come up and is constantly pushing the brand, then the brand dies out.
It can happen,
It
or
can
there could
happen.
be a PR disaster.
Or
Would you like an
yes,
example of
yes,
that?
we have time. We do have time for a PR disaster.
Everybody likes
Yes.
celebrity
Let's wrap
gossip.
up with a I have his hair. You tell your story. I'm taking care of
Okay.
his missing hair.
Well, another sort of legendary story from my Coty days, we had the license for Kate Moss.
Oh yes.
And, Kate Moss was so hot during this period. She was the face of so many different brands, fashion houses. She was Longchamp. She was Burberry. She was the face of our cosmetics brand, Rimmel Cosmetics, as the London rocker girl.
Yes.
And we also had a very successful line of fragrances with her for many years. But she ran into some PR issues, partying with
Mm.
her ex-boyfriend Pete Doherty, I believe, in
Yes.
London nightclub and
Oh, I
getting
remember
busted on
the
video.
window scene where she was upside down. That she seemed really cool, but that didn't go with the plan.
And unfortunately, that went viral. And the very next day, some brands like Longchamp, Burberry dropped her immediately.
Mm.
like contract over, because also in a contract you have that clause. Like
Yes.
if the celebrity has done something that goes against the law or, our code of values, we
Yeah.
have the right to terminate immediately. Coty stayed with her. We still wanted her as the face of Rimmel Cosmetics. She was the original London it girl, and she was the face of Rimmel for like 15 plus years. This was
Yes.
really long. But for fragrances, we noticed immediate drop in sales. I'm not sure if that was even so much consumer driven. I think there were a lot of retailers who just said, this goes against our ethics now,
Right.
and we're going to delist the brand. So eventually that brand also was discontinued from Coty because of that reason.
It's interesting. Uh, I,
So you are so dependent on
yes,
that
yes.
celebrity.
But you know what is interesting as well? There's always a comeback. Right now, Kate Moss just did the Gucci, runway.
Oh, yeah.
She's back.
She's come back.
And you know how we love a good comeback story.
Absolutely. And
So
she's a mom.
she's a
And
mom. Yes, exactly.
she's calmed down, I think.
Yes, yes, yes. I think a couple of years ago, launched something with essential oil. I remember that. I'm not sure if it really took off. It was under her own, she did everything herself. So it was definitely not nice licensing. But maybe if Coty, you know, everything is forgiven. That was a long time ago. Now there is this new, the Gen X. We still love her.
It's true.
She was the face of that generation.
Yeah.
She was the epitome of London cool.
Totally.
Yes.
She was the epitome of it. I think Coty moved on to Georgia May Jagger, Mick
Oh,
Jagger's
yes.
daughter for
Yes. Or maybe
advertising.
Sienna Miller would be another, the just after the Kate Moss, like the English,
They went, yeah, they needed to reinvent that brand anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, after 16 years or 15, it's a long time for a face.
Yes.
But it's interesting how you really are dependent on that celebrity, and sometimes things come out of the blue that you weren't expecting.
True. True. So here, yes, a lot of risk, but a lot of reward for that business.
Yes.
It's so lucrative. I mean, obviously the margin on the fragrance is quite high. Can we tell the numbers?
I think I already did. 5 to 9% of royalties
A royalty, but
on
for
sales.
Coty, yes.
Yeah.
Coty, just how profitable is it for you to launch a fragrance? What is the profit
It
margin?
all depends on how many markets, how much distribution, yourself as a celebrity. It could go anywhere from 25 million for a very small and niche up to hundreds of millions per year.
I wish you gave us a percentage.
I cannot.
I know. Plus, obviously, you have eau de toilette, eau de parfum.
All the different types and price points
Yes,
will
exactly.
affect that too.
Yes, I understand. I understand. Caroline, it was beautiful. We could have talked for hours.
I think we should have a part 2 of this because I have so much more to tell you.
Yes. And
If people are interested.
yes, I think the viewers will be very interested. I'm sure your students love you for all the stories you have to tell.
They do. They find it fascinating, but I'm always like, it's not as glamorous as it sounds. I promise.
I know.
I mean, at the beginning, you're a little bit, ooh, but after, you get into it, it's just another brand, but the partnership is really key. And you always appreciate meeting with celebrities and working with them where they are just 100% professional and
Right.
team players.
And we can see that with who has longevity, those are the good business.
Yes.
They have good business acumen, or they know if they don't,
Yeah.
they know how to surround themselves with the right people.
Yes. And we can talk maybe on the next session about what we think is the evolution in the future for celebrity brands.
Yes.
I think a lot is changing now, of
Absolutely.
course, with TikTok and influencers. I think it's become much more difficult and the tide is shifting, but it's not a dead category yet.
I agree. I would not have used the word difficult. It's another business model.
Yeah.
But the business is still there.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree.
Caroline, it was a pleasure.
You too.
Thank
Can't
you
wait
so
to do
much.
another one.
Yes.
Thank you, Claire.
Thank you.
See you next time.
See you very, very soon.